Fellow loved one, you probably landed on this video because there's something within you that is ready to expand and unfold and awaken, or you already have something that's already expanded, unfolded, and awakened, and we are resonating on that same vibrational frequency. And by that, something that's ready to expand and unfold and awaken, I mean your sacred gifts. Sacred gifts, spiritual gifts. Some people will call it psychic gifts. And you might hear me use those terms back and forth interchangeably. You could be on this video because you're just flat out nosy and you're like, what is she talking about? What does she mean by this? And what's beautiful about that curiosity is that that means that your higher self is probably tapping you on the shoulder, consciousness, the angels, all that there is, all that ever was, all that will be, is saying, hey, it's time for you to expand, explore, experience yourself. It's time for you to go within and awaken these seeds that you have inside of you. So all is welcome. And so I bring this to you because on this channel, you may see that I'm doing different types of healing sessions. I was called to do this because during meditation is when I started feeling the different energies in my field come through. And I realized that I was starting to communicate with my spiritual guides. And then more guides came through, more angels came through, Jesus Christ came through, source energy, God came through. I started to feel those energies and I started to realize my own infinite potentiality. And I am in the healing space. I like to help people expand their minds, heal their bodies, and feed their souls. And with all of that is the healing. That's why it's all encompassing. Okay, so when I talk about living in purpose and following your own path, when I talk about manifestation, things like that, I know that when people start to do those things, when they start to understand those things for themselves, then they begin to heal. They begin to heal themselves from the inside out. So I have this passion for it because I feel like we are in our own way, and the only way that we can get out of our own way is to expand our minds. Okay, so I'm in the healing space, and I also like to do the hands-on healing. I've always been into like the home remedies and home cure things that the ancients used, growing up, watching my grandmothers and stuff give us different things to help us heal and get well. So it all goes together. It's all one and all encompassing, all connected, all one. I said all that to say that as I start to experience things, I start to explore myself more, then I also start to expand. And that's what I encourage people to do. In whatever area it's supposed to be in, you might be looking at what you really, really love to do and what you really, really have a passion for as nothing. You might think, well, it's not a doctor. I'm not doing surgery. I'm not saving lives. But on the contrary, when each of us are in our own lane, okay, and we're sitting securely and solid and deeply rooted in our own lane, following our own paths, having fun with it, enjoying life and having laughter and just at play, that is saving the world, even if you're doing it in your own little bubble. Because what happens is that's energy. Energy doesn't know time or space. So that energy frequency expands out and expands all around you. And then it's infectious. So if you have a dominant frequency of all of this bliss and joy and laughter and peace and celebration and just really in your zone, your genius zone, it does emanate and radiate out to everyone around you. And then it's like I said, it's infectious. And when you keep doing it, it becomes the dominant frequency. And the dominant frequency wins. So if someone else is on a vibe that's, say, going a little slower and lower, and yours is like this and it's the most dominant, then their frequency is going to, you're going to download, and it's going to download into them. And then it's a ripple effect. All right. So I know I said a lot there, but that's money. All right. Anyway, so because my area is in the healing arts, what is presented to me is all the healing stuff. So sound healing, frequency, elements, energy, quantum healing, just all of the things, crystal energy, all of the things. Okay. So with these modalities, and this is with everything, okay, you learn the modality, you learn the skill set, you learn the craft, and then you put your own signature on it based on your own unique blueprint. So, for example, and also I like to do things with my hands. I always say I like to use my hands. Well, as it turns out, what was downloaded to me is that I can actually use my hands to heal. Okay, which we all have it. We all have energy coming from our hands that can help each other heal. And we can all think healing thoughts and send it to other people, if that is how you do your healing. So all of these different things are presented to me, and it once you, if you haven't already, start to go within and learn more about yourself, your real self, not the human aspect, but your real self, your soul. Once you start to go in, you'll start seeing, well, wow, that's why I used to do this all the time, or that's why I always do this, or that's why I always do that. That's why my hands do this, or my feet do that, or my neck, like the possibilities are infinite. Okay. Things I'm still discovering about myself are unfolding, and it's mind blowing. So I said that to say on this channel, you will see different types of healing as I explore and expand myself. And I'm getting this calling and these downloads to be before the people and present the healing, because it's not enough for me to know it and keep it to myself. It's not even enough for me to know it and keep it within my own family or my community. It has to be shared with the world. And the best and most fastest way I can do it is here on the internets. So on this channel, you will see some healing sessions, and it's for whoever lands there. It's because that's the medicine that they need at that time. So what I do is I actually sit back and I allow. I'm kind of going a little bit all over the place a little bit, I think, but just to let you know how it works, I sit back and I allow my higher self, my consciousness, to take over. And it's always done in a pristine, cleansed and cleared environment, meaning of the light. And as I learn more about myself, I can incorporate more of my own signature. Like crystal energy is one of my favorites, and so is sound, one of my favorite ways to incorporate healing. But those are really just modalities or tools. But what the biggest tool and the biggest modality is my unique pattern. So I can put my own spin on it. And that's what I'm saying to you. Whatever your lane is, I don't know what's scratching, itching my eye. Whatever your lane is you can just really make it your own, and do your own framework, your own, it's just a beautiful thing. And so I am developing some things that I can actually do on YouTube, on social media, that will benefit and help other people heal their bodies, heal their emotional body, their physical and their spiritual, subtle body, not spiritual, but subtle bodies. And I use light frequency activation. I use activations for removing pain. And these frequency activations are actually downloaded. It's actually a channeling. Sometimes you might see me using crystal energy. You might see me using sound. You might even see me using quantum energy. But again, it's from me getting these downloads that this is okay, what you're supposed to do. And you will notice yourself evolving. So I mentioned before that the way you access and open up your psychic gifts, or your spiritual gifts or your sacred gifts, the way you do that and you start to explore more is to meditate. Now, do we all have an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to meditate a day? Probably not. 15 to 30 minutes a day. Sometimes if I can't do it like that, I'll do 5 minutes. I'll do whatever I can if I can get away. And in the beginning, it's good to do it in private and quiet, even if it's in the bathroom. Say your house is filled with family, you just have nowhere to go. The bathroom, the backyard, outside is even better. A little cute nook in the backyard, create a sacred space for yourself to do it there. Whatever you have to do, if you're taking a bath, that's a beautiful time to do it. Right before bed, you can give yourself 5 minutes, and then when you lay back, you can sink into a deeper meditation and just go right off to sleep. Another way is through play. How often when we're playing, we have like this radiant energy coming out of us. We're laughing, we're just having a beautiful time. We're energized, all of that. That's another way to allow your psychic gifts to come through. If you're doing something that you really, really love and you lose all aspects of time, you don't have to come up for air. You can do it ad nauseum forever and ever and ever. That is you channeling the higher power. Okay, the higher power is when you're dancing and singing all that. That is the Most High doing that. While you might think it's like little you, it's big you. It is your higher self, your higher consciousness. Because we are here to play and we are here to love and we are here to have fun and we are here to heal. And all of that encompasses us being here to remember who we are, which is another thing that I love to help people figure out how to do, because that too is part of healing. I said all of that stuff to say that be very open to allowing yourself to be still. Go within. Everything that you need is here. Just like a small seed, when you go to plant it, this is not a seed, but pretend that it is. You go to plant this small seed, you put it in an environment that is conducive for its growth, and then you reap the benefits of its harvest. Once everything, you'll see its bounty and it'll come back over and over and over again. That is you. You are nature. That is you. All right, until the next video, live simply and be kind. I shall return.